Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, oh my goodness, I can't even express how excited I
My
am.
babies.
We finally got the
My
man,
babies.
JJ Harvey, in the building.
My babies.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes. It's a beautiful thing.
This man, for those of you who don't know, this is my basketball trainer. But he's so much more than just a basketball trainer. This man has taught me so much about life and truly is just honestly been like such a guidance to me in ways that, you know, have affected me deeply. And I think that Justin could say the same.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor and a pleasure to truly have this man in our presence. This man is not influenced at all. This man is influential, and I can't even conjure up the words to express how ecstatic I am that my second father. I truly do. When people confront me and talk to me and ask me about this man right here, I truly say that he is my father and a father figure for very many. So without a further ado, I'll turn it back to Jack.
Introduce yourself, man.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, no, I'm Coach Harvey. Most people know me by, okay? But I am just a man of God. I try to do my best by people and try to work through him. And if I can, if people can see that in me in my walk, then I'm grateful for that. So, it's hard for me to hear you guys talk about me like that. And I get that a lot, and I'm just so humble. I always give God the glory because I know I'm not what people see all the time. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I know who I am, and I'm working through things just like everybody else is. So when I hear that, it is hard for me to hear, but I'm grateful to hear it. You understand what I'm saying?
Amen.
So I'm grateful to hear it, and I'm glad that you guys, watching you guys on the YouTube. I'm just I can't be more prouder. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have really grown from when I first had you guys to now. So
Yeah.
and it seems like every time I do see you, it's always
We're improving.
yeah, you're always
Getting
improving. You know what I'm
better and better
saying?
every
So
day. Yeah.
that is
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Like, you talk about God and like how you're a man of God. I never asked you this. I want to know what led you to God and your life.
parents. Yeah, nah, my parents. I'm thankful for my parents, Jerome R. Harvey and Margie Lee Harvey. So
They
my
instilled that in you.
absolutely, and it was non-negotiable. So there would be times when I was growing up, and I wanted to play sports or go over a friend's house, and no, Sunday's church. You're going to church, and they try to do their best to keep me awake in church and all that stuff, and I would, it'd be fighting it because I didn't want to be there, right? So, but
Right.
they just, knowing that I was an adolescent, they didn't know. They knew that I didn't know right from wrong or anything like that. So they was gonna do their job until that stuff kind of got instilled in me, right? So as I started growing up and becoming more on my own, had more free time to myself, I found myself in situations where I had to like rely on God, right? Like, that's what kind of happened. It's like, yo, what do I do here? And
Sacrifice.
yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Like, and then you start asking questions, you start getting curious, and then one of the biggest things you learn is, they can set the foundation for you, but you have to ultimately know God for yourself.
Free will. Your
Yeah.
free will has to take over.
Yeah,
You
so
have
that's
to.
the choice you kind of make, and that choice happened for me probably, probably in college, I would say, where you're obviously on your own
You're
for
on
the
your own.
yeah, you're on your own, you're
Yeah.
on your own, right? So a lot of situations happen, and you find yourself making some decisions, and you start relying on the stuff that your parents instilled in you. So that's the thing. So
Amen.
that's what it that's how it kind of
Yeah.
happened.
That's what's up.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Parents are important.
100%.
You know
Parents are
why
important.
parents are so good? A wise man once said this to me. You know why your mother and your father are the way they are and why you depend on them? It's Because they're consistent. And you know who that man who told me that was? This man right here. This man right here.
In the building. Underground Railroad.
Yeah, you got, all this stuff that I'm kind of saying kind of derives from that, from what I've known and what I've gathered. And by not any means I'm sitting here being all knowing of the Bible and spiritually. Like, I'm a work in progress and stuff. But the stuff that you're right. But the stuff that I've, accumulated from doing my own studies, all these things start to make sense as you get older. When one of the 10 commandments is honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long, why? Like, you ask that when you're young. Why do I got to honor my father and my mother? And then you start to realize, now it's making sense.
I get it
now I see people who don't have their mother and father, and how much of a struggle that is, and, how long are their days, right? Does that make sense?
Right.
So...
That's really so profound, Jay. And that's something that I've even learned recently. Like, I've had this coming into my own moment where I get pushed back because I realize how profound the insight that my parents installed into me. Like, when we think about it, when we're so young, we're sponges and we just consume everything and we try to mimic our parents. And I'm so thankful that my parents were able to just demonstrate and have precedence in a way that was positive. And that was of faithfulness, because now I'll say the one thing that I pride myself on the most is that, most importantly, I have faith in God, but I have faith in myself. And that's something that can't be taught. It can only be taught. You can only teach that. Yeah, it's truly remarkable.
I agree.
And I could say that for myself. Like, both of my parents are the most reliable people that I know. And that's like, a lot of people say that they can rely on me to be there. And like, that really comes from my mom. Because like, every time something happens in my life, every time where it's like, I'm in a moment of like uncertainty, I can call my mom and know she's going to pick up 99.9% of the time. And that's a blessing that
things you value.
I can never repay.
Yeah, those are things you valued. And not to cut your wisdom, but it's like when you guys were at my workouts, a lot of our conversations had to do with your parents. Like, sometimes y'all come in mad at with your parents, or it'll be this, my mom is this. And I would never let you guys get away with that. Like, I don't care how bad your mom is or your dad is.
I think there comes a point when you want to rebel.
Yeah.
You want to do your own thing.
And me being in the position that I was in, knowing I'm not a kid anymore, I know this. You guys don't know this, but I'm not going to allow you to, talk down about your parents. That's just not going to happen when I'm there, right? And that wasn't just what you guys are. That's what everybody, right? So, like, I understand how important that was back then. And you guys won't be grateful for that till you're getting to this age now where you're starting to see the things and that inspired. But as soon as you start really getting older, you're really gonna
It'll
see.
just magnify.
You're gonna be kissing your mom's feet. You're gonna be hugging them for no reason. You're gonna be doing all this. You're gonna be taking care of them.
And I've had numerous conversations as of late where kids have grown into adults and they sit down and they talk to me as a young adult. And they tell me, boy, was my mom right? Like that, I feel like that's one of the things that we come to have this realization about, but let's have just a sense of gratitude. Gratitude reciprocates.
That's it.
And if you give praise to someone, say thank you. Say good job. When your mom comes to pick you, like, even just think about this. If you could do something as simple as, Mom, you did such a good job. Thank you for picking me up at the right time.
You gotta think, because she don't
gotta do that. She's taking time
You
out
don't
of her.
even realize it. You guys don't even realize it. Is you're talking to kids and kids are like, oh, okay, they take it for granted, but that's
you don't
like
understand what you have.
Yeah, the parent, from a parent standpoint, just hearing that is enough. It's like, oh, everything I did was for something, right? Like, just hearing that out of your mouth and saying,
Gratitude.
Mom, thank you. it's a relief. Like I didn't mess you up. I didn't do right or wrong by you. I didn't because sometimes as a parent you're going through this and you're in the middle of it too. You don't know if you're really taking the path. You lost your temper a couple of times. You've done this. You've done some things that you probably shouldn't have done. But the spirit.
Do you think you had much more gratitude for your parents when you had kids?
Oh, easily. Easily.
think
That's when it will really hit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's when it really hit. When you got your kids and you're looking at you.
It's a mirror.
They're looking at you at 5. You're like,
What is that like?
I'm gonna choke the life out of you, right? Yeah, nah. You get to that point. Yeah, so you're just like, Mom, thank you. I can't believe I wasn't listening to you the first time when you asked me. I can't believe I didn't keep my hands in the shopping cart when you asked me 5 times. You know what I mean? Like you're saying all that because you're trying to tell these knuckleheads to do the same thing, and they're just out to lunch. And it's worse now because now they got internet, so they're learning stuff. They got a phone in their hand.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it's just getting worse where they're snapping back at you and no.
A lot of sass and attitude.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mom. Like that. Thank you, Grandma. Thank you, Auntie, Uncle. That's when the village was around. Right. And obviously when we were growing up, it wasn't nothing. You walking home and they heard something bad about you. Neighbors get you got kicked out of school today, and they'll give you a whooping or something like that. Yeah, like it was a village. That was a community thing, which is obviously not really around.
Let's think about that. What if we held each other to that standard?
Yeah.
Just think about how the world would be a better place.
And I think that community that shaped you formed your own community.
An underground, yeah.
Underground Railroad through basketball.
That was the goal, right? And that was the reason I got the group chat. That's the reason I want you guys to really do communicate with each other because, we need each other. My 4 horsemen, Jack, Justin, Asia, and Blasquez. I would put Blasquez in there. So anytime you guys came, I kind of made sure you guys said hi to each other at least, and then it would be a thing like where.
Let's really talk about this.
Yeah, we can get into that.
When I talked about this on the first podcast, I used to hate this guy.
Absolutely.
And
I was there.
It was always when you were there.
Yeah, I was there.
Normally hate is a strong word.
Understatement.
But I feel like it's duly.
Understatement.
Understatement, right?
Because Jack gets mad, right? When Jack gets mad, it's the glossy eye, don't know what to say, and he's in this.
He's shell shocked.
Yeah,
he's
it's
perplexed.
like, I don't even know what's going to come out. Yeah, it's like that. Like he doesn't really let it go, and you're just yeah. And so Jack will look at me sometimes on some like, are you gonna say something? Because if you don't, I might kill him right today. Like that's the look I'm getting. But it never got to that because I knew deep down the love you guys have for each other. I know the competitiveness was there.
Manifested into love.
It came into that. Trust me, because growing up. You go home after a day like this boy. I know you're going home
but then
cursing.
I would have to see this motherfucker in school, bro. And it didn't stop.
He didn't go. And I think I had one conversation with you because it really did get to a head, right? And I think I had one conversation with you where, I told you, I said, Jack, why do you think Justin's talking?
He's trying to get in your head.
That's it. And he's covering up
and
for the
I
stuff.
lived there rent free. It was Zillow. Zillow in his tone.
Justin would come. You was in the beginning. You were coming way more than Justin, right? So I feel like you were a little bit more advanced than Justin in the beginning.
We spoke on this.
Also because my dad had also when I was a kid, my dad used to play basketball with me and he used to train me, right? But it got to a level where his knowledge wasn't like I kind of felt like I was stagnated.
Yeah, Dad became white noise.
Yeah.
He's like, Dad, all right,
yeah.
I get it.
But he knew what he was doing up to a certain point, and that's where you came in. You see what I'm saying? Like you kind of, I remember, I think around the time was 7th grade year, I just got cut. and then I started going to you to try to make the modified team. And the growth was almost instant. You know what I mean? And then this guy showed up.
Yeah. And it was crazy because your father was speaking to me a little bit because I would always see you at the Sakati Center.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, yo, he's a pretty good player. You know, he's playing, and you were like the point guard, and you're weaving in and out of traffic all day and all that stuff. So I felt like he was pretty good. So when your father came to talk to me, I actually thought your dad he was talking about you because I didn't really know your name. And your dad kept saying, he was like, hey, my son plays in the Sky Tent, like we see you all the time, or something like that. And I'm like, okay. I think I know your son. You sound pretty good. Boom, boom, boom. So when we finally set up the workout, you show up. So I was like, oh, I thought I was working with Jack, right? So I'm like, okay. Anyway.
That first workout, ladies and gentlemen, JJ had to break down basketball to me, and I thought it was like the Pythagorean theorem. It was like when Einstein first found out the theory of relativity. Like, it was insane.
And your body language showed that. So we really went to like the basics, left-hand layup, but we're speaking about why the layup is something you want to master and all this other stuff. And you were still struggling. We didn't really
like
get through
elementary
that.
level basketball.
When was this? Can I get a time period?
I can't even remember. It had to be around the same time we met because I had worked out with you after. I think I worked out with him first before I worked out with you.
Because I would always see you at the Sakati.
But I would always see you, yes.
Yeah, like my dad would always have me working out at the Sakati, and I always saw you with like a group of kids, and I would want to go over there, but I was kind of intimidated.
Yeah.
As like a kid, and I was like, Dad, I want to work out with that guy.
Yeah.
And I remember he went up to you one day, and you were like, nah, I'm in the middle of a workout with that.
Did I do that?
Yeah. but then
He's
like,
dedicated to the craft.
but then eventually we got to it. I remember the first workout I had with you. We were doing like dribble and stuff. It was like you taught me to set up dribble, the move,
finish.
Yeah.
You were way more advanced. Yeah. I was never getting to you with that in the beginning. In the beginning, left-hand layup.
Baby steps.
And
you got to crawl before you can walk.
And the confidence you used to show to him, I didn't get that when it was just me and you. It was like you was getting frustrated a lot, and I could see it. And so a lot of that was me kind of like, yo, we don't care about your mistakes. Keep trying, right? And, you were taking sometimes not. You have your good days, you have your bad days. Mm-hmm. Seeing you, it was more like, oh, he's a little bit more advanced. We can get into a little bit, extra stuff, and we can go. And by the time you guys started getting together, I don't even think you guys really knew each other in the beginning. But you guys kept coming to the workout, and obviously, if you keep coming, you guys are obviously going
divine timing.
Yeah. So like anytime.
Coincidences are God's way of remaining anonymous.
Can I just say, like, every time we would go to a workout and I'd see him, the moment he walked in the door, he would just ignore everybody else, but he would just talk to me, like just chatter in my ear. And I was just like, looking back and reflecting on that, it's like, why was it me? Why do you think it was me?
Jack, the answer is fairly simple, and I think it's very obvious. You were the best.
You were good, kid.
I'm letting you know, and I knew where I go. It's your classic David and Goliath story. I'm gonna tell you that I'm going to win, and I'm going to win.
And he would.
I'm going for the biggest guy.
Absolutely. No, a lot of times.
Because of that belief.
I used to, I would be flabbergasted to some point, and so that's when I started thinking about how you were mentally approaching this stuff, but you would let it get under your skin so much that, I would spoon feed you. I wasn't going to give you the solution right away, but it was more like,
as any good teacher should.
Jack, really? Like, it'll be a little bit to that, right? And then the moment I felt like you were doing some growing, I got to knock you down again. So now I go, Justin, talk to him, whatever. And Justin, thank you, boom. So I'm on you, and I used to go from here to that back down here, and it was just like one of those things with you, Jack, from a mental standpoint.
There was a switch though. there was a distinct switch. And this is during COVID.
COVID, yes.
And we used to work out in the parks. Mm-hmm. Remember, it was that time. Those were the days. Those were the best times of my life.
The dog days.
COVID.
We used
No
to-
gym.
Yo,
we used
you
to
had
go
to be
outside
real
and-
thorough to get to one of those workouts.
And there was one day that he just got under my skin so bad, right? And I talked about this on the first podcast. He won that day. And then I don't know if it was you, but the next day or the next workout, I don't know if it was you or a parent, someone off to the side. I might have been
No, it
slugged
was
as pop.
definitely me. It
could have been you.
Nah, it was
It was
definitely me. I remember saying,
were like-
because at that point, I think I hadn't seen you in a while. Like when COVID happened, you started coming back. I don't know if you left or something, but
I think this was before that. There was a time where I took like a year off.
or something. I
But like
just
this was during the time where we were working out, and I felt like I was coming into my own. We were like working out in a.
and I hadn't seen Justin. So like Justin comes back and he's Justin, and we know Justin, and you was on a pretty good pace, and we was just getting into our footwork, and Justin just comes and like literally talks you out your game. I mean, it was like back in the day, and I think I had enough. I just said, Jack, are you like still letting him talk you out? Like it was one of those moments, like, and you just looked at me.
And I was like, I got it. I got it.
Are you still doing this? Like it was one of those moments for me. I had thought you had, we had been growing. I just felt like you had realized that by now.
I think that had a lot to do with me as a person during that time. It's like I seeked a lot of validation from other people.
And basketball is such a real game because it reveals who you are.
It does.
It will reveal you. And here's the thing.
And not being validated and being put down all the time by you
Cuts it off.
It was just like eating at my soul,
There would be times you would win, and he would cut you down,
And I still won.
and you would still feel like you lost. Yeah, like I was watching him work a lot, and I was like, for me, it was like you're hiding something for you to be talking this much.
100%.
I mean, because he doesn't talk like this when it's just me and him. Because we've had a lot of workouts that's been me and you, right? And this is not the same energy. It's like I see doubt, I see this, and I'm going to call you out anyway in our workouts, right? So it's just like, no, Justin, it's this. And it would take him a while to get it versus you. I don't have to show you that much, but if we were playing one-on-one, I would pick him every time because I know mentally you couldn't handle it at the time.
Right. And then after, when you told me that, it was like the next day he was talking so much.
And you said something. You was like, I don't hear you. I think you said something.
It was like, I was like, okay. I
think that's what it kind of took place. And you were like going. You were still the fadeaway was hitting, all that. I was like, okay, Jack might have graduated.
All right. Let's go outside. Turn the camera, shut this down. We outside.
But I remember you responded to every time you scored or whatever. He had something to say, and I thought, where you saw, I was like, I don't hear nothing. Like, or you said something like that. It was to that effect.
Yeah.
And I just sat back, as I always do, just see how it manifests itself. And I had no idea that you took that moment as a pivot. Like, I really thought you were over that, to be honest. I really did. So.
Well, COVID was like that summer was like super transformative for me. Like
For a lot of people.
During that time, I had like a spiritual awakening. Like I saw the world in a different light. It's like I had so much curiosity, so much love and joy, and I just was like, I changed more in those 3 months than I had in 3 years. You know what I mean? I saw the world differently. And
the world forced everybody
to
sit by themselves, face themselves.
Be still.
Yeah,
And know
and
that
a
I
lot
am
of people.
God.
You're right. There's a lot of people who couldn't make it through that. There's a lot of people who reflected and said, "Yo, I could, whatever, improve here, and don't do this, whatever." But
For me,
there's
it
a lot
was
of people who have a problem sitting still.
But you have a choice, though. People had a choice to either rise to the occasion or sink.
Why do you think people have a problem sitting still?
Because the truth is not, it's not what's the word? The truth can be ugly and it can be pretty. But the truth is truth. It's immovable. It's there.
And most people don't want to face it.
And people don't want to face it. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of people who have a hard time just looking at the mirror at themselves.
Your reflection.
Just your physical reflection.
There's been times where I've related to that.
Yeah, there's some people just look at. I'm not looking at the mirror. I don't want to see that. And for somebody who's stood on truth so much and so long, even for me, it was hard for me to like, bro, you can't change it. So why don't you just look at it? Like sometimes I would come off that, and that would come off you're not being thoughtful, right? You're not really. If you say it like that, you're not really trying to be empathetic. You're not understanding where that person's come from or what that person has gone through. Because for me,
I think there's a balance.
There has to be.
You have to be compassionate.
Compassionate.
But also be empathetic. I truly believe that those go hand in hand.
Yes.
And I love what you're saying here. And I really want to just keen in and hone in on what has been said. People should know that whoever makes you mad is your master. And wherever your attention goes is where your energy flows. And your energy and your time are two things that you can't get back in life. So if you draw attention and your energy towards things that are not there to serve you, it's going to control you ultimately. And I just love how this whole conversation just tied into itself. And I can't even begin to express that these little tiny incremental things, like such as simple as the game of basketball, revealed it. And it revealed truth. And that's the thing. The truth is a hard pill to swallow, like you said.
And the truth isn't going anywhere. That's the one thing, too. So, when I understood that, to me, it's like, well, we got to face it. We got to deal with it. That was my mindset, right? Whatever it is. And
Ain't no running.
Can't run from it. It's going to pop up.
You will try to run.
You will try to outrun talk on it.
You will try to suppress it and hide from it and keep it locked away in a safe. That shit is coming up.
It's coming up.
Everything on the inside, man.
It will always come up, and there is no running from it. You gotta sit there and face it.
You gotta face it. And there's sometimes some people do a good job of running, but they don't understand how strong the truth is. Like if you don't face it, somebody close to you is gonna face your truth. You don't want that to deal with if it's gonna be detrimental. Yeah, like this will.
It's a ripple effect.
Yeah, it'll just keep going. It'll keep going. That's real. So you might as well face it, deal with it, and whatever happens, happens. And then you got to believe that truth is, I almost say truth is God, right? Like God didn't give you anything you can't handle. So it's intentional. Whatever that truth is for you. And it's intentional. And it's for you. And you need to accept it and hopefully
and not run
make the most of it. You know what I mean? And turn it into something where you get to serve God Himself. Does that make sense?
Stages and phases and lessons and opportunities.
Yeah.
It's what I was reading James. Brothers and sisters, be overjoyed when you come of trials of many, that it will be the test of your persistence, which is the test of faith, and you will need that to finish this race. You are going to need, because I truly believe that persistence is faith. Because if you never had faith, you would never persist.
Never. You will not.
Belief is
and that is a fact. That's a whole fact. There's nothing to say after that. That is a fact.
Belief is the most powerful thing in this universe.
And if you don't get it, then you're going to see your brother or sister struggle. This is going to be a struggle. And it's, sometimes the struggle is meant to happen. But nevertheless.
Yeah, man.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
100%.
Of course, yeah. I want to touch on a story that really impacted me through you. I had taken a break off of basketball for like a year, right? and I hadn't seen you in a long time. I came back and my hair was long.
Looking like a surfer or something. Beach.
And during
Cowabunga. I don't know. West Coast in it.
and I remember senior year we had both gotten cut from the team, and circumstances, whatever I was going through my life, I was making bad decisions. Right, I was in a dark place and I made bad decisions. And it was like 3 days before my birthday, my 18th birthday. I never told you this, but I got caught stealing. And that really hurt me because it hurt my family. And I betrayed God in that moment because I had told God I wouldn't do it anymore, and I did it. Right? And like on my birthday, I think it might have actually been my birthday. You told me to come to like a Shaker basketball game or something, right? And I was sitting there, and you were talking to me, and the most realest thing you ever said to me, and you could tell I was going through something. You could tell.
Both of you guys, it's easy. I mean, I've known you guys for a long time, so I can tell.
You could tell I was going through something, and you said, Jack, you know how young you are? You're 18 years old. You're so young. And that was like a breath of fresh air. It's like I felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders at that point. And it was just like, to hear that, it's like, yo, I made this mistake.
But you're not defined by it.
Exactly.
The world you guys live in is different from the world we live in. You guys grow up way faster than we did. So you may believe that you're grown. You may believe that you guys are.
I felt that.
Yeah. And, you know, for me, I can only speak about me. I just know when I was 18, what I was doing. Was I perfect? Was I running around here, you know, doing everything by the book? No, I was making more mistakes than ever. Ever. But at no point did I have that, I guess, I don't want to say body language, but when I saw you guys, I never felt that weight, I guess. And I don't know what that could have been for, because maybe I just didn't have as much access to knowledge and life as you guys have, because you guys see a lot more than we did when we was 18. You guys see a lot.
Yeah.
So because like we go outside, ride a bike, come in before the street lights come on. You know, how often we speaking with people and stuff. You guys get to see who's doing what everywhere around the country. You're getting all this.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
But it's like the age of information. It's like, yo, you have access to so much.
So you will hold yourself to that standard sometimes, maybe. And you might hear.
JJ, that is exactly what it was.
Yeah, you may sit there and see another 18-year-old who's super successful and got all his things right, and he's giving sermons, and if you ain't doing what I'm doing, you ain't, and you guys may be seeing, I'm not saying that you guys seen it, but I'm sure subconsciously,
you see all the good and you see all the evil.
Subconsciously you see a lot more than we did, right? And you know, for me, I just know you're just not gonna be grown until you go through life. Like, you guys were just going through life. You guys were just in the beginning of it.
Starting your life.
Just starting it out.
I literally had just turned 18 at the time.
Yeah. Like, listen, it's going to happen. Like, you guys are lucky you guys got the love of your parents. You got good people around you. And it wasn't something that was, catastrophic to your life, right? You know, you thank God for that, because sometimes you make those mistakes and it could be.
It's detrimental.
Yeah, detrimental, right? So, you know, you just have gratitude, great. You get to talk to me about it, get to talk to your parents, talk to your close friends, and you work your way through it. I really do believe, you know, this is a design by God that we have so many different walks of life, and the walks of life should understand that and come together to help each other out.
And that's a question that we should pose to ourselves. Like, are we living life in default or by design? Because if you really take a step back to understand that someone laid out a path for you to walk, you start carrying yourself a different way. You have a different responsibility, and a responsibility that's not even a burden, it's a blessing. And don't block your blessings. Don't ever do that, because what you're missing out on is who you truly are. We'll spend our whole lives just searching for self-expression. And I
To live a life that's fulfilled.
exactly, but almost to the effect of, for what? Like,
Say that.
what's your why?
Why are we doing this?
Why?
Right? It's
The
really
why-
that.
The why
And
is so important.
It really is.
And that's something I learned from you. It's like you always, from the very first workout, you always was like, ask why.
To know why is to have power.
That's a bar.
Elaborate.
Write it down.
Elaborate.
If I say, hey, I need you to work on your left hand layups.
Why?
Okay? And you got to do this every day, half hour a day. You got to work. That's how you're going to get better. I know for a fact you're not going to do that. I know you're going to probably do that for 2 days, 3 days, and it's going to stop. And I know as a trainer that I'm not going to see any results if you don't have the motivation and desire and will to want to get better with your left hand. To know why is to have power. When I know why I'm doing something, then that motivation seeps in. Then you wake up with a new energy. I got to get this left hand right because Jack is playing me to my left.
And also goes.
And I don't like Jack.
And also goes.
And I would be damned if Jack gets
I
the
don't
best
like
of me.
Jack. I love Jack.
It also
I love
goes
Jack.
deeper than that though.
Yeah.
Because let's say you're stuck in the same pattern of the same, like, let's say sinful behavior. Like you're stuck in like temptation and you don't know how to get out of it. To know why and how you got yourself in that is the way you get yourself out.
Say that. Say that. This is the thing that as an adult, when you see certain behaviors with kids, you wonder. You do wonder. You sit there and say, why are you doing this? And they will give you an answer that will literally knock you on on your heels. You're doing that because of what? And then once they double down on it, you realize the difference between adolescence, your teenage years, adults, or just experience in itself, right? You understand that you're gonna have to get deeper with these kids if they're gonna like lock in on something. You gotta do it. Like,
to ask why is to get
yeah,
deeper.
and that's you can start there. Like that's a starting point. Because you never know what you're gonna get an answer sometimes. You say why and they give you an answer. You don't even know if they're telling the truth. Sometimes they might just tell you something that you want to hear and stuff like that. But the truth of the matter is, when you're a child, you just have not lived enough life. You really haven't, and you don't know that when you're a child.
Right. Time is an illusion.
Yeah, it really is, yo. It really is, and that's as I'm going through life now, I work at the middle school over at Troy. When I go to bed at night, I'm thinking of different ways to find truth from these kids. But I love working with kids because kids are way more honest than adults.
Why do you think that is?
They're raw. They're
Unfiltered.
unfiltered. They're not influenced as much by the world like you were. Because sometimes when like I've lived so much life and all this information, I kind of know where to weave and stuff like that now. Where a kid is just like,
It goes back to knowing how to run.
yeah. I mean, seriously. Like, if I'm trying to teach you to run, right? You're a kid. So everything I tell you, you're gonna do for the most part. If you like it, if you don't like it, then that's another great thing. They'll tell you, I don't like it. Nah, I don't like running. All right, whatever. Like I don't have to, that's good. I'm glad we got that out the way, right? But an adult, this is how you run. Yo, don't tell me how to run. I know how to run. Why are you saying that? Because I know you don't know how to run. But if I say it like that, you're gonna have another response. Are we gonna get to the truth going down this because you lived this?
It's ego.
Yeah, the ego seeps in when you get older, and all this other stuff. You don't even know what factors are coming into that, right? You don't even know what factors are coming into the simple and plain truth. You don't know how to run. I'm here to teach you how to run. Just accept. Let's go. Let's go. That's it. But because you've lived so much life, you're worried about how I'm gonna look. I might be the boss. I might know one of your bosses, and you're gonna give me the third degree because whatever. Like you just don't know. There's so many angles that can affect that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's so many stuff that can
You
affect.
gotta have integrity and humility.
It's good to
And
have
it's a
people like
lost
that.
it's a lost art. And I feel as if sometimes when I talk to these people, they pedestalize themselves. And I'm not just talking about we're talking about ego. We're talking about unpleasant characteristics. We're talking about
It goes back to worship. What are you worshiping? Are you worshiping God? Or are you worshiping yourself?
And Jack, I love that you pointed that out because to have pride, I truly believe is spiritual arrogance. Because here's the thing, don't be prideful, be confident. God literally instilled confidence and conviction inside of you. And be careful of how you say things too. Like even JJ's articulated that in that perfect analogy. Think about that. What you say matters. Say what you mean and mean what you say. And because you don't understand what you say has more than just effect on you, but the people around you.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying I don't know.
Right. And I have a question for you. What do you think is the difference between confidence and arrogance?
The difference between confidence and arrogance. Good question. Arrogance, to me, is negative confidence.
I never heard it like that.
I think, and then this is me thinking about it right now because that's a good question.
Nah, I like that.
Yeah, I think it's like if you are confident, then you start using it to
Boost your ego.
not even boost your ego. I don't think there's nothing wrong with boosting your ego, but I think it's wrong when you're trying to use it to tear people down. Like, yo, I'm better than you, and deal with that, and and you're belittling the next person while you're trying to elevate yourself. Confidence is, I want you to be good. I'm good. I want you to be as good as me or not even better, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
I know
Because I'm
who
confident,
I
because
am.
I know who I am, right? Like, I'm confident. But arrogance is like, I know who I am, but I also think I know who you are, and you ain't as good as me, and
That's
shut up.
projection.
Yeah.
I feel like majority of the time, people are just projecting. Like, and like you said, I don't want to backtrack, but Jay said, I knew something was going on with you. He's hiding something. I was. When I would speak up and I would say negative things that had a negative connotation towards another individual, of course, I was harboring this inadequacy that I felt inside. And I was overcompensating. And JJ's so smart, and he's a good teacher, and he's experienced life. So therefore, he was able to read between the lines.
Amen.
And find that. And he knew how to get me better, but he also knew how to tailor that to Jack to make him better. And this is what real people do. This is what real people do. We don't sit there and pretend like things aren't there. We walk towards them. Just like Peter. What did Peter do? Jesus called him out. He walked towards Jesus. He had a walk of faith. And that is so beyond just circumstances, people, and places. That's something that you were given freely. And I encourage everyone to express that every day.
Yeah, it's in layman's terms, they call it almost, and I could probably find a better term, but they'll call it being soft, right? Like, fights happen. Fights happen. I firmly believe when there's confrontation and we can get through it, that you guys are going to be closer after that,
100%.
right? But if you're trying to avoid the fight the whole time, so you're gonna lessen yourself, then it's kind of like you're being stagnant.
Goes back to running from the truth.
Exactly. And that was gonna be my next
And
line.
that's what I was alluding to before. And what I meant by running, it's like, yo, you're running. Like, adults know how to run from the truth better than a child would.
It's true. It's true. It is true. So, you know, I've had little incidences with parents. You know, I can't believe so and so said that to him, and da da da. And I'm just like, listen, this might not be the best place for you. Then, like, this is how kids act. You know, I'm gonna make sure nobody gets catastrophically or it's detrimental to your kid. But if your child can't deal with this, then I didn't say they were soft to their face, but I just said it's probably not for you. You know what I mean? Like, this is
Really, you've had that conversation with parents?
yeah, absolutely.
Many
Oh,
times.
you have to. Many a time. Many a time. Because, even when you guys are around, I've had a new guy. I would have some new people, and I know you guys sharks, so you guys ready, you guys are ready to.
Lions. Lions.
You know what JJ described this as? The litmus test.
Yes, you guys were my
Could you hang?
medium.
Could you not?
Yeah, if you could get past Jack, Justin, Asia, Blasquez, then you guys
next
mentally,
level.
you could mentally get over that. But if you guys are like, you can't get through that, then it ain't gonna work for you. Sorry, it ain't
It's
gonna
so
work for you.
amazing you mentioned that. I didn't even remember that.
Yes.
Hey, so I want to ask you, what is DKBA 518?
DKBA
And I'll
518.
ask another follow-up question. Why
Okay.
do you love basketball?
Got you. So first question, what's DKBA 518? The Danilius King Basketball Academy, but in the 518 chapter. So when I first started training, believe it or not, I was a little nervous. I didn't really want to do it. It derived off of AAU. When I coached my first AAU basketball team for the City Rocks, we did such a good job. I had a lot of parents asking me if I trained. So it caught me off guard, and I was like, I mean, I work out like I work out. I can work them out like I used to work out. Yeah, that's all I care about.
I hate to cut you off.
Yeah.
How long have you been training for?
I want to say 9 years, probably coming in August. So yeah, I was doing that for a little bit, and then I felt inadequate, so I called my friend Danilius King, who I went to college with. So Danilius King, shout out to Danilius King, my son's godfather, great friend, part of the network that we used to do a lot of trainings with in the area. Danilius King was from Utica, New York. Went to Siena College with me when I was at Siena. And after he had finished school, he actually wanted to make the team at SUNY Albany as a walk-on because he ended up transferring to SUNY Albany. But he knew he needed to get better, so he called we had a mutual friend where he trained Danilius, and I mean trained him. And so when I saw Danilius, I was just like, wow, son, you got a lot better, right? So he was so hyped and ready to make the team. And what happened? Doesn't make the team, right? So he turns that into, starts training, right? Kids, because he kind of knew it wasn't even about the training. It was about the lessons he had learned from this trainer that we both know, right?
Revelation.
You understand?
Shout out to that training.
So he was doing such a good job training that he was literally training all over New York State at a high level, working with a lot of high level clients like Michael Carter Williams, Breonna Stewart.
Wow.
Like
Talk to me.
yeah. What's my man's name from Syracuse? They call him Legend. I forgot his name. It'll come to me. But he was working with a lot of people, and so his name was getting around. And so Jim Hart, director and founder of the City Rocks, used to call him to do, some clinics down here. So that's where I would catch him. He called me down, yo, I'm going to be in the area. I would love for some support if you come through. So I said, oh, anything for my brother. So I come over there, and I was just in awe of how good these workout clinics were, right? I mean, he's got the mic, the Janet Jackson mic. He's talking. He's doing a great job with motivation. He's doing a great job with, a little comic relief, getting the most out of a lot of these
It
kids.
was just infectious.
Oh, I mean, it just hit me. And me being a fan of basketball, I almost felt compelled to come over to him and be like, D, you're good, bro. And then, I appreciate it. Yeah. So, like, and he would come down every once in a while, right? And so, when, to backtrack, when these parents started asking me to train, when I was feeling inadequate, I called D. I say, yo, D, it's funny how the tables turn. I'm a scholarship athlete at Siena. He's trying to make the team, tries to make sure he does it, but he's a way better trainer than I could ever be. So I call him, and I'm as humble as be. Yo, how do I do this? And he's just putting the battery in my pack. He's like, yo, you can do this. You're like perfect to do this.
And that goes back to like, yo, I've experienced that in my life where it's like, yo, you have that doubt that you can't do something.
Big time.
And that comes with like stepping out of your comfort zone.
Big time.
Yo, can't is a swear word.
And it's like,
Where'd you
Let's
learn that?
normalize.
I learned that from this guy.
Yeah, don't say can around me.
But,
Don't curse at me. If you curse at me, I'm going to take offense to it, and then I got to fight you.
But yeah,
Like
it's
that.
like sometimes
But-
you feel like that immense doubt, and it's like, yo, you're capable. And you
Yeah.
must know that you're capable. And
And
God
you-
made you capable because he made you in the image of God.
And God will send people to remind you of that. And D was that for me. So D kind of just, and I've never done it. I know how to work out on my own. But D was like, yo, listen, man, this is how you do it. And even when he was kind of telling me over the phone, I kind of, I was taking something, but I still didn't like how it was going. And I told D, listen, I really want to get into this. I'm making a commitment. I'm going to come up to Utica once a week, twice a week, and I'm going to take notes. I'm watching your sessions.
Student of the game.
Yep, until I get comfortable enough where I can do my own academy.
Ladies and gentlemen, take notes. Literally, this man was so humble to the fact that he knew that he didn't know everything there was. And this man is a Division I athlete, but he was able to really sit back and be like, hey, the student is still the teacher.
Absolutely.
The student is the teacher, but the teacher and the master are the student. It's still the same. You're always learning.
It goes back to letting go of your ego, sacrifice. It's like, yo, it's okay to say, I don't
It's
know.
okay. And there's a lot of people in my shoes who probably would have been like, nah, I'm good. I'm a Division I athlete. I can do this, that. And you probably would have done it for a little bit, but, I've been doing this for a long time, right? And so that longevity, I really want to credit to the things that you guys are both speaking about, right? Like, it could have went left where I didn't even reach out to D. Like, I'm not calling D. D never even played basketball at a high level. Like, I beat him every time, one-on-one. He's not even good as me. I could have been like that, right? But me knowing what I saw from a training, when I saw that, I said, nah, he got it. Like, it was very, very clear to me, this dude is special. And I've seen a lot of trainers. He's special. And I'm glad that he's a friend of mine. This is somebody that I know. And so it was nothing for me to ask him. And he was as warm as could be. So, he invited me up there, and I was up there for about 3 months. And then when I got comfortable, I did my best to open up my own gym. And he never said, yo, I need a piece of the money or nothing like that. He was just like, no, the name is fine. If you keep the name, that's fine. Boom, boom, boom. And it was on and popping from there.
Rejection is redirection. Think about if he never had got cut.
Exactly. Like that, and D knows that too. Like D will talk about it, and then one of his biggest dreams was to play college basketball. But I think he can come to the conclusion he has made way more of an impact from training than playing college basketball.
And
I don't think he would change that for the world.
And that also goes back to letting God guide you to wherever he wants you to go, because he might close the door just to open another one. And that's what he ultimately wanted you to do in the first place.
It's real. It's real. Trust me. I mean, if the quicker people understand that, the better off they'll be. And so To get on to your question, why why do I love basketball so much? We don't got enough tape. We don't got enough time to be all the reasons why I love basketball. I'm getting antsy just thinking about it right now, right? But the biggest reason, the big reasons why I love basketball is because it has taught me how to deal with life. It's been a form of expression. The things that I've learned without basketball seem to have the same lessons in basketball, and it makes it a little bit more clearer. For example, how to work with people. Sometimes you got to work with people you don't like. Being a leader, discipline, the people you meet. Basketball's brought me a lot of people in my life that I can't really imagine my life without right now.
Basketball brings people together.
Yeah, it does.
All my closest friends, Q, Justin, Johnny, basketball.
It's basketball, and you don't have to second guess that. Like art is for a lot of people, basketball is for me. People say art is a form of expression. So like some people say writing. I got to write in my journal. That helps me get my thoughts out and how to express myself. So I'm not holding. Basketball is that for me, right? When nobody's around, when I'm feeling frustrated with life or feeling great about life. Sometimes I'm feeling great about life, and the first thing I want to do is go touch a basketball and go crazy, right? When my brother passed, when we had our funeral, after the funeral, right after that, guess where we all went?
Basketball.
Yeah, MCC. We were playing pickup. And I thought that was one of the best. I know it was a little weird for people just on some like, really, you want to go play? I said, yeah, I want to go play basketball. And we all went there and we had a great time. And it was one of those things like,
It was a celebration.
yeah, it's just something about it that it's always the answer. It's always the answer in my life, right? Like, or it's gonna help me find the answer. Does that make sense?
And you could teach a lot of life lessons
You
through
guys,
basketball.
and you guys are living examples
Living
of that.
proof.
Okay, so you guys are living examples of that, and a lot of other people who's come through the underground has can say the same thing. So for me, it's the gift that God has given me, and I just wanted to
Amen.
make sure that I use it to serve Him. It's not gonna be something where I say, "Oh, thank you for this gift," and I'm, selfishly trying to whatever make money and all this other. It's never been about that. It's always been about passing it along, passing the gospel, the word.
And that's so impactful because Jay was telling me about like how you told him about the 3-on-3 league and that how
Oh, John Eve.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that day. John, he came up to me, and he was asking me kind of about how to do the 3-on-3, and yeah, he's inquisitive. Like he was just asking me questions, and like naturally, like he's not the first person, but I'm gonna pass whatever I know. I'm gonna pass it along, right? Like I don't.
You
I'm
don't
not,
gatekeep nothing.
No, it's pointless to do that. To be honest, I don't understand why people do that. They think they're monopolizing something, but there's nothing new under the sun, kid. Like
You can't reinvent the
yeah,
wheel.
like there's nothing new under the sun. Like I was doing the 3-on-3 for a long time, right? We had some really good years with the 3-on-3 over at the MCC, and I loved every minute of it. But I know the trials and tribulations I had with it as well. And in my mind, like I wish somebody would have told me.
Right.
So now, John E come around. Yeah, nah, listen, but don't be discouraged. This is gonna happen. You're probably gonna have some days where
We started off with 3 teams.
Yeah.
The first team didn't. The fourth team didn't
don't show up. Nobody's calling back. All that stuff. Like I dealt with all
And
that.
this last one we had 8 teams, and it was a really good experience.
Hey JJ, I just want you to know how like appreciative of like
I can't express the gratitude.
I can't I'm trying to like I'm getting really emotional because I can't express to you how much that you coming on here and just being vulnerable like you told us that you admired out of us, and to see you give the same effort that we give into this right now is something that I can't unsee, and it's something I don't see with my eyes. I feel it because I know, and I just want to say something. This man has been through so much, and he doesn't talk about it. And he comes up on here, and he has the strength to talk about the things in his life that have brought him pain, but have given him love in return. And I just want to just amplify that because of how blessed I am to be here. And ladies and gentlemen, I spoke on my podcast about a very, very, very difficult time in my life. I was drinking, I was smoking. This was during COVID. JJ was so kind to me to give me an outlet. No, there was no place to play basketball. And like JJ was saying, basketball was the answer. Basketball was the answer for me at the time. We were hooping outside. You'd find parks that were pretty secluded so that we could play. I show up to that drunk. I was literally drunk. He didn't say nothing to me. I had showed up to the weight room. And he just did it. You did it in such a gentleman way. Like a true king would. Brought me aside. Sat me down. And you know, like any father that loves his son, he's going to reprimand you. And he sat there. And he just gave it real spiel to me. Just spoon fed it to me. The truth. It was a hard truth. And I broke down. Tears streaming down my face. And I sat there in that man's arms. And I cried. And the amount of comfort that a man that doesn't have the same blood in my veins, doesn't have the same skin color as me, but that does not break between that he is my family. And I just want you to know the kind of culture that you created. And I just...
No, it's real. It's real.
Amen.
God, I'm telling you, man, he works in mysterious ways. And for me, it's you guys, even before COVID, have expressed your gratitude for me. And you guys know that I'll do anything for you. You understand what I'm saying? If I were to understand how heavy that was on you at the time, JJ the human probably would have been like, I don't know if I want to take this on. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what this can bring. I don't know if your parents are comfortable with me doing that and stuff like that. But I'm so grateful God is in my life and that I didn't think twice to do that. You understand what I'm saying? And I always give him the glory, you know. And you guys have been overwhelmingly with the JJ this, JJ that, and I'm gonna say it every time. To God be the glory. I'm gonna say it every time because I don't think it's me all the time like that. I really
It's
don't.
God working.
Yeah, I really, and I pray about that. Just like we prayed before we started this, you know, God use me as a vessel, how you want me, do your will. And I just want to hopefully be there to be ready for you to do that, right? And you know, these moments happen more than I can count, and so I'm grateful. And now I pray that you guys understand this, how important that is, and then you pass that on, right?
100%.
Does that make sense? because you never know who's going through that stuff.
I just want you to know that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm sitting in front of these classrooms, and all I'm thinking about these kids is I see myself. And it's like I'm relearning again, Jay. It's like riding a bike, like for the first time, like, and I'm so ecstatic because that's my highest excitement now. Like, I just get in a room and I realized, and I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm the accountability guy. I'm the kind of guy that walks into a room, puts a mirror to your face, and says, all the things that you've been saying have been holding you back were secretly the things that are empowering you to be the best you can be.
Alchemy.
Turning lead into gold.
And I could like even express that in my life. Like, yo, this past year's been hard for me. Like, I've been working every day. It's hard working outside in a labor job with people you don't necessarily like, or not even like, or relate to in a way, you know? And you get caught in a cycle and you get caught in a trap of repeating the same things over and over again. This motherfucker came home and was like, Jack, you believe you're trapped in a cycle. And that's why you're in a cycle.
That's so powerful. If you said that to everybody at my job right now, if something don't hit them, because it really is that, and you don't even realize you in it until
you sit down and peel back the onion.
Yo.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, yo, he really did that for me. And he was like, yo, Jack, the reason why you're trapped is because you believe that you're trapped. And back to what we said at the very beginning, belief is the most powerful thing in this universe.
It really
if you believe
is.
you're trapped, then you're trapped. If you believe you're as free as you can be, then you are.
The brain is a powerful muscle gift God has given you. When you realize it, you start to make a few choices. But like, I go to work now. I really do my best to keep to myself. Because
I do that too.
Yeah, because it seems like a lot of people will just come up to you and they want to
put all their
that negativity. Like, it's to the point now, somebody comes in my room and says, yo, it's hot in here. Like, you don't have to be in here. Like, this, I don't even need to hear that. Like, I don't need to hear that. Okay? Like, it's that right there for me. And sometimes that'll turn into a joke. It's like, I'm not being literal, but some people take it literal. And if you take it literal, to me, it's like,
congratulations.
Yeah, like it was meant, like you was really about to come in on some negative stuff.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Like that, right? It's like I don't really wanna bring that energy around me. I'm already dealing with a lot, I could easily be the person, it's too cold in here, it's too white in here. Like, I could be doing that, right? But I don't do that because it doesn't get me anywhere. I'm gonna be gracious, grateful about what I have for today, living in the moment, and I'm gonna do my best to help anybody that needs help. Hopefully God's working through me. Maybe I can help the person who's too cold in there. Hey, you need a blanket, like whatever, I don't know. But it's not gonna be the moment you see me and all you think about is negative, what's wrong? And I don't got
You are the
the
light
capacity.
of the world.
Yeah,
A city that is sat on a hill cannot be hidden.
Yeah, I don't got capacity for that right now.
Word.
What?
Yeah.
When I was a construction worker, boy, I already know what you're going through.
Yeah.
You know how hot it be out there?
On a roof. Right now we're doing an addition
What?
on the house.
Jack, you think I want to hear about what your wife is going through right now? Yo, can you just put the nail in that and let's go?
And it's worse that you're the rookie and then these motherfuckers are
trying to
making you feel like shit.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
I was there. Well, I had to leave though. So I had to leave. I did it for too long. I had to leave. I was in there. I said,
he was trapped.
what? God showed me a sign or I'm going to get arrested out here. The winter. Outside.
Yeah, this winter was brutal. Outside.
The
in triple
winter.
layer.
Outside.
Justin, you don't know what it's like to do
What?
siding outside, bro. In the middle
Siding?
of the cold. Bro. No, you're out there in the cold and you're trying to, you know what I'm saying? And it's 0 degrees outside with wind. And you gotta sit there outside and do that shit all day.
You never been in a lift
This shit is draining.
when it's freezing and you in the air. It's just wind. Yo, move the lift over here. Yo, I swear, if somebody say the wrong thing to me, I'm gonna take it out and Jack and dress when I get to the workout. Like that. Like that. But yo, I was an electrician out there. Not once did I come in on that when I was doing my workouts. I had to look forward to my workout. It was like my peace of mind right there. Like, oh, Jack, Justin, let's get this cracking. Yo, Jack, Justin talking crazy already. Like that. Like, let's go. I need that fulfilled. But it's real. What you just said.
Yeah. But I have no complaints.
Construction.
I have no complaints. You don't know why? Because God has me right where He wants me. And
You're gonna learn a lot.
yeah, these are valuable life lessons. You know,
sure.
you really
Resolve.
learn,
What?
yeah,
Courage.
You gotta sit there.
Dignity. Honor. That's an honor.
You really learn a lot about yourself and how much you can take.
How much you can take. Say
Keep
that
moving
again.
forward.
Yo, I thought I wasn't gonna make it, but I actually made it through the day, freezing my tail off.
Some days are better than others. You know,
It makes you appreciate a lot of things. When somebody say, yo, it's mad cold, it's like 15. You're like, yo, I was just
I was
zero.
outside
I was
in
outside
this
in 0.
all day.
15 actually feels all right. I'm good.
word.
Puts a lot of things in perspective.
Yes, it
Puts
does.
people in
It
check.
It does.
It's like, yo, you want to complain about 30
Yeah.
degree weather?
Yeah.
Like, it's yo, I was outside of it.
Yeah, I don't hear anything
on,
you're
bro.
saying.
Come on, bro. You think it's hot out? I was on a roof.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Straight up.
But
But,
yeah,
yeah, I'm not complaining. God is good.
but yeah, it puts things in perspective. But go ahead.
I think this is a good place to wrap this up. Jay, it's always a pleasure. I love you to death.
Yeah.
Like
Likewise.
Like Justin said, you're like a second father to me.
Yeah.
You're a family, and I've learned so much about basketball and about life. Like, and I'm so happy you wanted to do this, and I can't express how happy I am that we had this conversation, because
Overjoyed.
I think a lot of people are gonna see you in a different light because of this,
Mm.
and I truly appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, I'm humbled. It comes full circle. I'm humbled. I see your growth, Justin. You know, I don't know. I'm sure you've heard a little bit, but you're extremely articulate. You're very smart. It's like when I listen to you, I really can't believe how the growth, right? And it's at a point now where, like, wow, you're inviting me. Like, that's how I feel. Like, that's what it really is. Because I really do see greatness in you. I really do think if you're going to stick with this, for me, I feel like I just feel like I can see talent. You got it, kid. You know what I'm saying? You just got to stick with
Glory
it.
be to God.
Jack. Pistol. You're my... So you, like... If we were to get in a fight with someone, like, you are my guy. I'm calling you. Like, I just feel like you're the guy that you've dealt with a lot. Yes or no?
I tend to take things like
You tend to take it unnecessarily, almost, I feel sometimes. Yeah, like, yo, you don't need...
take your pain. Like,
like, yeah, Jack. And you, and
I know how to deal with people in my ear. Like,
listen, you do it. I've been waiting for the day that it's come out really bad, and I've never seen it. I never seen you just like.
You want to know why?
And
Yeah.
And I really thought.
I can tell you the reason why off camera. But
Okay. I would love to know that.
Yeah.
But I really do feel like there's a strength about that. Because as men, it's different. Women and men. Men, you got to kind of.
Have that composure.
You have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, we kind of hold things together, hold it down. And to show that, you got to be strategic. If you do show that, you got to be strategic about it. You know what I mean? And it's going to fare well for you if and or when you do become a father or you're, mentoring to people and stuff like that. Because it's that rock. You're like a rock. They call you what? The glue, right? On the show?
Yes.
He's the glue, right?
He's the glue.
You're the glue.
Elmer's.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Appreciate that.
it's when I look at both you guys from where you've come to where you are now, I'm very, very humbled that you guys think of me up here, you want me here, and I'm hoping that I do right by you guys on this show. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do. You know what I mean? So I love everything that you guys got going on. And if you ever need anything, you guys already know. Phone call away.
Yeah, bro.
And big shout out. I gotta give a huge shout out to your parents, Joe,
The greatest of all
your
time.
mother.
And my father.
Yes, and your father. But that mom of yours, I'll tell you one thing. Moms was not playing no games about you.
No business.
What?
What?
Serious.
You're her baby.
Yeah. And I mean,
I'm her only child.
Oof.
So
I could tell.
That only child syndrome?
Yeah, I could tell.
yeah.
That explains a lot.
But we've always had a good rapport. I've always had a good rapport with your parents. Always had a good rapport with your parents. Your parents are very intentional about reaching out to me every 1 or 2 months just to be gracious, gratitude, just like, and anytime you're doing something, they'll let me know.
That's good. I'm glad.
And
I'm really glad
they always do. So shout out to them because I really do feel like that is the thing that does get overlooked in a lot of this. When who's responsible for your growth? A lot of that has to do with your parents and your upbringing.
Shout out my mom and my dad.
Shout out.
Shout out my mom and my dad.
Big time.
They're my anchor.
Listen, I'd love to have you on again.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
we'd love to have you on again.
Thank you for doing this, man.
It's been revelation.
Revelation.